What's up, everybody? I'm Jack Slater, aka the Comic Outlaw, yeah. And we're going right into the world of weird. Yes, one of my favorite worlds, She Hulk. And yes, there's a new writer, because the old one actually took a hike. And I love how like they break the fourth wall and she just kind of handles him. You gotta love She Hulk. I mean, I've loved these issues so far so much better than Savage She Hulk. I mean, Sensational She Hulk is my thing. Anyway, she wakes up, dreaming about that, and man, she looks sexy. Props to the artist. Anyway, she's having that dream, breaking the fourth wall and such. And she's getting ready. She's kind of thinking, maybe she ought to go on a vacation. She's been dealing with a lot of stuff, the IRS, Mephisto, a bunch of other stuff, and she gets ready. And of course, this accursed thing pops up, blocking her nudity. Damn you, censorship committee. Damn you. Anyways, while she's stripping down, drying herself off, getting dressed. And of course, the white band's there, but she doesn't need it anymore. She's dressed nice and she's dressed hot to trot. She gets into her green car and she's going to show New York what she's got. Where's that Los Angeles? Either way, she's cruising around. She-Hulk stays from place to place. She has expensive taste. And she's going to pick up Wheeze. And think about heading to Florida. And the interesting thing is the weather is actually pretty terrible right now. All kinds of electricity problems have been going on, especially thunder and lightning. It's also been popping up in the most random places. And these guys are basically taking the star back and forth, as a private jet. And they're having electricity problems, of course. Not only that, the waves and everything else. And so while they're trying to pilot this thing, the star actually gets out and he starts telling them stuff. This guy's bigger than Elvis, he's bigger than John Lennon, blah blah blah. I'm the biggest rock star who ever lived, and now he has something in common with some of the greats like Buddy Holly. He crashed. So I guess that's that. Nothing would shut up a rock star quicker than a big explosion. Anyways, She-Hulk flying around. They notice the weather's kind of different, and they got a hit on the radio saying there was a plane crash. And She-Hulk decides that she ought to go help out, seeing that she's a superhero and it's kind of what she does. So her and Wheeze begin to fly off to the location. Wheeze, being a former superhero herself, kind of digs it. Anyway, She-Hulk gets out. She introduces herself. And this guy says there's probably not a chance of finding too many survivors based on the way the plane crashed. But you never know with She-Hulk. You never know what's going to go on when that woman shows up. You better be ready for a whole ton of crazy. Anyways, this alien guy kind of says that it's Spragg, the living heel. He's the one responsible for this, all the electricity discharges and whatnot. And this guy looks like a head-to-toe conspiracy theorist. He has all kinds of gizmos on him, all kinds of stuff. And he looks like he fell off the crazy farm. He just got off that. Anyways, he explains how he's been trying to find this guy. He's been haunting this place for a long time. He tried climbing a hill to get to him. He ended up getting shocked by lightning. He's tried another different approach where he decided to use an airplane. And of course, he got struck by energy, just barely surviving. So he decided to go Bugs Bunny and dig a tunnel. And I guess this worked. He was able to go under and he was able to see what was on the other side. Find out what this Spragg was. This alien. This creature that's been haunting him. And he is just literally a living hill. A giant orange hill with a big mouth and a high-pitched voice. Basic spiel, he wants to take over. He's from another galaxy. Far, far away. And just like everything else, he was just kind of brought here. His body was destroyed, and when he landed on Earth, he formed from the different dirt and everything else, kind of reforming himself. His telekinesis or his psychic powers do not work really as good as they used to, so he has to kind of control humans, giving them small suggestions. Until finally they build him an energy dynamo, which allows him to amplify his psychic powers, and basically everyone's worshiping him now, and it also gives him control over the weather more, lightning and stuff like that. He's able to absorb the electricity now and use it for his own powers. And this is a lot of stuff to swallow, but as hard as this believes, recently Jennifer teamed up with a duck and went on a space adventure to a baloney universe, so who is she to judge? Meanwhile, this guy who's in Stragg's pocket, kind of calls everyone, lets them know what's going on. Strag's back, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Of course, they have theories on how he appeared here and why. He probably appeared here recently. He fell from the sky. And they're basically just trying to figure out what they're going to do. This guy develops a device that will sort of like, not really tickle him, but give him like a big itch, to see if there's any resonant energy. And yes, this big rock spike comes out, and it sets off like a tidal wave of Earth, 100 feet tall, like just a big, huge, moving mound of rock and mountain heading right for the city. And this is where She-Hulk decides that she has to stop it, and she gets a crazy idea. The kind of ideas that I love it when Jennifer has. She gets back in that beautiful flying car of hers, and she comes up with one of the most basic moves out of the Hulk's repertoire, you could say. She jumps out of the car using her indestructible and very sexy body. Jumps out and decides to smash the rock at the focal point. Using this device, to kind of like do reverse harmonics to kind of shatter the rock as she's falling into it. So the rock vibrates, and then she shatters it. It falls to pieces, saving the town. But there's another problem. The rocks all fall into a hole. See, I guess it worked too well, and it created an avalanche, a basic cave-in, and she falls into a giant hole. And Weeze is wondering where Jen is as she falls into this giant pit. And she is lost to them. Where is Jennifer? Who knows? Maybe this Strag fellow sucked her down in the hole. But for now, she's gone. And will Jen be able to get out of this? Will Weeze be able to help her? Who is Scrag, and what are his plans for the Earth? And will he be able to conquer the Earth if his plans follow through? Well, I guess we'll have to find out the next time, won't we? And as always, I'll catch you on the flip side. Yeah.